What is going on? Thank you for always tuning in to your Tuesday Throwdown. I am your host, JT. I got my co-host in the building with me, former NFL running back James Mallory. And if you're new to this is nothing personal, just Buffalo, where we talk about everything about the Buffalo Bills. Tonight, we're going to be talking about this L that we took against the Cincinnati Bengals. Good show lined up tonight, James. Good show lined up tonight, man. We got a lot of hot topics, right? We're going to talk a little bit about Josh Allen, his accountability level within Bills Mafia and around the NFL. We're going to talk about recapping the game, about recapping the Cincinnati laws. If anybody has found Gabe Davis, because I heard he was still missing, please let us know. And last but not least, we're going to be talking about Bills Mafia starting to take a little bit of a turn on the old ball coach there, Sean McDermott. So I know that's a lot of hot topics. But, James, let's hop right into it. Obviously, the Bills lost to the Bengals on Sunday night, 24-18, in a primetime game. We're 5-4 in the season. A lot of people were hitting the panic button, throwing the towel in. Listen. A lot of Ken Dorsey hatred. I don't think it's right. I like I said, I watched the film. I don't think it's exactly Ken Dorsey. A lot of people want to blame the OC. We're going to talk about that tonight too. Where did this game go wrong? Where did the Bills lose this game? Where can they improve? And I guess we got to talk a little bit Dalton Kincaid's arrival. That's what we'll have some positive to talk about tonight.
All right. Thank you, JT. First and foremost, y'all, sorry, I got the sunglasses on today. Got a little allergies a little bit. So, you know what I mean? Y'all need to be all in my business here. So that's why I got the sunglasses on today, because I am a little swollen. But it's all good. You know, we still here. You know what I mean? We gonna ride out tonight, man. We know our listeners. We know y'all wanted to hear us today, and we really want y'all to interact tonight. I know, especially me. I'm a little hot today. You know, I called JT and I told him, I said, man, I'm ready to talk that talk. I'm on my JT-ish today. You know, when JT go in, he goes in. I'm on my JT-ish today. But you know what? The Bills lost a close football game to a good football team.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that in professional sports? They're acting like these guys aren't professionals. And I'm sick of fans insulting professional athletes as if you're supposed to. It's not John Madden football. You know, it's not the video game where you got a better record, you simulate the game in your franchise mode, and you win. It doesn't work. These people have injuries. These people have emotions. These people have feelings. And every single person in the NFL is talented. I mean, super talented. To where the person that you say, oh, he's not good, is a freak of nature. He's one of the best football players to ever walk the earth. So don't ever forget that, people. I think a lot of people they forget that. No matter how good or how bad the team is, they are professional athletes. They get paid to play the game that we love to watch, right? So we can't lose sight of that. And I want to say that because some Bills fans, it's a little outrageous, the things you are saying after the Bills lost this game to the Cincinnati Bengals. And I had to say that. You feel a certain type of way, it is what it is. please comment. Let us know how you feel, and we could talk a little bit. But the Bills lost a game that I feel they could have won. I'm not going to say should have won, because if they should have, they would have. They could have won. Yeah, we had opportunities, right? And that opportunity is our quarterback, or our tight end. He grew. Our first round, we hit a home run with one. Dalton Kincaid is the real deal. Holyfield, that guy could play some football. He makes Dawson Knox look very average. And with that, he had a really big game, but he also had a play that really hurt us. But this is part of the reason why McDermott isn't big on playing rookies, right? Because when you play rookies, you're going to have these type of mistakes. You're going to have these type of things that happen, right? It's just like college football. If you play a freshman early, there's going to come a point in time where he's going to make a freshman mistake, right? And it's a time where Dalton Kincaid, no matter how talented he is, he's going to make a rookie mistake, which he did. It's okay. Not okay that we're in that situation, but it's okay to make a mistake, right? But I'm pretty sure he's going to grow from that, and I don't think we'll see too many more of those type of mistakes. But that's the reason why you see McDermott like to use that kind of that red shirt year with rookies and bring them along slowly, right? Because you don't want to put them in a position where they really can hurt the team, and it's not because they're not good football players, because it's a rookie mistake, right? It happens, and the defense started out slow, but I think the defense, I'm sick and tired of people dogging the defense as well. The defense played well enough for us to win, right? The defense came up and the defense balled out when we needed them to. When we needed to stop, they got it. Besides that the last drive, right? And still with that, there's no guarantee we're going to win. That'll give us a chance to go drive and win. But there still wasn't a guarantee. And also, let's not forget, they still had the opportunity to kick a field goal, right? Because they were in pretty good shape. They could have kicked the field goal. So people are losing sight of that as well. All right. Offensively, I personally just summarized it. We'll get deeper into these things, y'all. And JT, I don't want to take too much, but I told you I'm on my JT.
What you gotta do? Say what you gotta say.
I'm on my JT shit today. Excuse my friend. But listen, but offensively, but Bills Mafia is dogging Ken Dorsey, and I don't think it's fair. And I will get more into this, the reason why I don't think it's fair. But the offense, we can't go in those spells where we're giving nothing, just punt the ball. We can't keep doing that, right? And we'll get more into the why of that. And also, I told y'all, special teams, we need a kick returner. I told y'all we need a kick returner. We need one. And I keep telling people how important the return game is. Think about it. Hines won us a game last year just because of his kick return ability. We don't have a kick returner on this roster. We have a hell of a punt returner on this roster. We don't have a kick returner on this roster. And we have one here locally. They need to work out, and they can call him up a couple times from practice squad. He was the number one kick returner in the country last year. He's 6 foot, 205 pounds, runs a 4.40. He's ready to go right now. The name is Terrell Ford. We need to look into that, call him up, because we're going to have games where we need some type of production in the kick return game. Getting at the 25-yard line, as you see, is not cutting it. We need a guy that's going to bring that thing out the end zone and get it to the 35-yard line there and be a threat. We need that. Right. JT, your time to shine.
All right, man. So basically, I thought that this was, once again, thought the Bills were going to have to put up at least 31 points to win this game. Obviously, they were going to need 25. So give or take a touchdown or whatever. But I figured it was going to be a shootout. 31 points was going to be the number that I thought they needed to win this game. Once again, offense had a great first drive, came out hot, and then it sputtered. Why it sputtered? Like I said, you got to look at sign a real McDermott and real Josh Allen-esque. You got to look at the film. I don't think we have to go too far with the film because you can look at numbers and see your number two receiver put up absolutely zero. 0 catches, 0 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 everything. And he end up getting benched.
I can't wait till we talk about that, JT. I cannot wait.
Yeah. Obviously the Bills went away from the running game in this game. Yes. I still think that they picked a couple spots to run the ball, but when you get down with Cincinnati early, and then Cincinnati drives taking a good amount of time off the clock. Mm-hmm. Overall, listen, you had to pass the ball. It is what it is. I mean, the Bengals held the ball for 36 minutes this possession. The Bills had the ball for 23. So what that tells you is that the Bengals got up. They had long drives, long scoring drives. Buffalo's down by more than 2 scores. You got to speed up the pace. The Bengals pretty much took the running game away by doing so. Yes. As far as the defense goes, this defense looked entirely different than they did for the first quarter of the canceled game last year and the entirety of the playoff game. Obviously, we know that the playoff game, the defense came to play a little bit better in the second half. Defense gave up 3 points second half. Put the offense in position to win this football game. And I do think, like I said, I'm with you, James. I'm not with the shoulda, woulda, coulda. But if Dalton Kincaid doesn't fumble that ball, and I don't want to say just he fumbled the ball, Jermaine Pratt made a hell of a football play and a heads-up play of punching that ball out as he's going to the ground. This result may be a little bit different. Yes. I think that Ken Dorsey switched in the second half to the more RPO system to hold the defense back a little bit. Hold the Bengals defense back a little bit. It made Josh a little bit more comfortable. Obviously got Kincaid involved. Second half, we got Diggs more involved. Once again, unfortunately, we got absolutely nothing from our number 2 receiver, and we will talk about that again later. Got Shakir involved. I thought that overall, the play calling, this was one of the better games I saw Ken Dorsey call plays.
Yes. Absolutely.
I still think that 17 has to do a better job of taking everything the defense gives us. Not just within the 2-minute drill and not when we're down going into the fourth quarter, but the entirety of the game. We need a 4-quarter consistent game from Josh Allen. Okay. And that brings me into our next topic of the night, or our first topic of the night, if you want to call that, is pretty much, is it time to hold Josh Allen accountable? Because every time I go on social media, it's always someone, and I should say the majority, not everybody, but 90% of the time, it's somebody else to blame. It was Brian Dable, which I blamed a lot on Brian Dable because I thought Brian Dable playbook and his offensive play calling was terrible, and I still think it's terrible, and I think it's shown over to New York how terrible it is. And we went in on this topic a couple weeks ago, and I'm not going to do it tonight again. Or it's Sean McDermott, or it's the defense, or it's Gabe Davis, or it's somebody. It's the lack of a running game. There's always some reason that Josh Allen struggled or someone, quote unquote, failed Josh Allen. No, that is not the way it works. That is not the way it works. Offensive coordinators don't make quarterbacks. Head coaches don't make quarterbacks. Quarterbacks make offensive coordinators. Quarterbacks make head coaches. And I'll give you one better. Quarterbacks make offensive coordinators into head coaches, other places. And I've said it before on this show, and I'll say it again. Franchise quarterbacks get at least 3 offensive coordinators normally in their career, head coaching job. Josh Allen already has number 1. Ken Dorsey will be number 2.
Yes.
Okay. But at the same time, it's never to blame Josh. Josh is going to his 6th year in the NFL. When I talked to Bill Polian, sitting in a seat with him 5 years ago, he said, by this time in Josh Allen's career, he's supposed to be using what the defense does against him to beat the defense. He is not at that point. And if you want an example of what that is, look at number 9 in Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, and what he did with pre-snap adjustments. Now, personally, I don't think Josh Allen will ever be that type of quarterback. I don't ever think that he'll be that guy that makes all the pre-snap adjustments and aligning people and changing things at the line of scrimmage, because that's not who he is. Every quarterback is not built like that. But damn it, he has to do a better job of what he's doing. If you see the blitz coming, you got to make sure you hit the hot route. You got to make sure that you're checking your guy to the hot route. If you see the blitz coming, you got to stop thinking you could beat the blitz with your athleticism. And you have to put your pride to the side and make that running back block or make that tight end stay in and block. You have to do a better job at that. And until he gets better at that, you're going to have a lot of 3 and outs. Okay? You're going to have a lot of 3 and outs. At the end of the day, right, we talk about Bill Belichick. And that's a hot topic for Buffalo Bills all the time. Bills Mafia fans at all times is Bill Belichick. Why hasn't Bill Belichick won without Tom Brady? Because I'll say it again, and I'll let you go, James. Head coaches do not make quarterbacks. Quarterback make head coaches.
I mean, how you said this perfect, JT. To be honest with you, there's not really much to add for me. For whatever reason, people don't like to hold him accountable when he does screw up. Let me say this, and I said it on our show. I believe Josh Allen is the most talented quarterback to ever play for the Buffalo Bills. And I think he's the best quarterback to ever play for the Buffalo Bills. Let me say that. I'm very happy, and I wouldn't take anybody. I think he's the perfect quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. I mean that. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes would be a Buffalo Bills quarterback. Not saying he wouldn't be great. He would be great. But he fits what we're doing, if that makes sense. He's a Buffalo Bills guy. He is. So I don't want people to take this as if I'm saying it like throwing shade on him, because I'm not. I want Josh Allen to be Josh Allen. I told everybody this a million times. You can tell by his demeanor at times he's not Josh Allen. He's not himself at times. Yeah. I don't want you to force yourself to calm down and be calm. I want you to be you, authentically you. Right. And whatever comes with that, negatively, maybe a fumble here, you try to run and the ball is put out, whatever. Give me that version of you, because when your back against the wall, you don't have to look and see what who you are. We know who you are. You know who you are. Do you. And that Josh Allen has always came through for us in the clutch. He does come through in the clutch. I feel if we'd had the ball, was that JT?
No, absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah. So we have to hold him accountable for not being authentically Josh Allen at times. So whatever that is, like when it was a all 22 clip where they showed Gabe Davis actually running through zone and he was somewhat open. I'll get to Gabe Davis in a little bit. And he took that shot at Hardy. Bills fans are upset with that and tell him to take the check down. No. This is the same thing y'all used to get pissed off about with Tyrod Taylor and dog Tyrod Taylor about. Tyrod Taylor would have took that pass 10 out of 10 and threw it to Gabe Davis and got a 5-6 yard game. Now he taking money shots to Hardy. It's an incomplete pass. People bitching and complaining. But maybe he may hit that pass 30% of the time. He may throw that 10 times this season, hit Hardy 3 times, and we get 3 touchdowns out of him. Right? Those are the things that you all wanted to see. You getting it, now you complaining. Like, what we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Hardy was brought in because of his speed and his ability to stretch it. Throw that thing. We don't want that to be a dummy route. Guess what? When teams go look at that on film moving forward, I guarantee you there's going to be a safety hanging high. The defense is going to play it different. They're going to respect it different. It's not a dummy route. It's not a runoff route. That's a live route. He's going to throw that thing. If that is there, Hardy's running, and you even, Josh Allen is going to let that go. So we do got to hold him accountable for some of the mistakes he made on that cover 2 throw. What happened was, so what happened on that was it was a cover 2. It was cover 2.
Yeah.
The corner was very undisciplined on it and got lucky. He lucked into an interception. Josh Allen anticipated him hanging in the flats, playing there, and then jumping back into the flats. He cheated it and he carried it all the way through. That's why he got the interception. You're supposed to throw it into the anticipation a lot of times, right? And that's what Josh Allen did, but it burned him that time. He threw it too much anticipation. He anticipated that guy to come up. He didn't. He tried to fit it in there. If he did play it true, that would have been a very, very good play.
But you know what? Teams are seeing that on film, and I've seen that same interception from Josh 3 times this season. That same exact thing. Jets, Patriots, and now the Bengals.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him for that because he's authentically himself with that. We're gonna have to live with those because guess what? It probably was probably 20 more times he threw that same exact route, something similar into cover 2, and made the play. And matter of fact, he did the same thing in the game when he threw it over, and it was Shakira caught that. No, it was Diggs.
It was
Diggs on the sideline, and he got his 2 feet in. Same exact play.
My problem is not necessarily the throw, and I don't like the throw. I'll be honest with you. I mean, he can make it. There's very few quarterbacks that can make the throw, and he's one of them. My problem is throwing that ball in cover 2 to Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis does not fight for balls, so that's my problem.
Yeah, you want to get my blood pressure up, don't you, JT?
Yeah, that's my problem. If you want to take that shot with Diggs, fine, take it. But I'm not taking that shot with Gabe Davis. And like I said, I'm gonna leave that right there until we get to the Gabe Davis segment. Yeah. But back to Josh, man. The biggest thing for me is this. We can have Sean Payton calling plays. We can have Ken Dorsey calling plays. We can bring Brian Dable and his crayon playbook back calling plays if you want. All that matters is if he doesn't take what the defense is giving him, we're going to have problems. If we take bad sacks to take us out of field goal range, and then guess what? We're going to have 3 and outs. We're not going to have any. You're not going to put points on the board. If we take too many shots down the field and like just wasting downs, we've seen him waste about 3 downs to Hardy already in 3 consecutive games. That same shot. Okay. Hey, I'll just be honest with you. I don't know when's the last time I've actually seen him consistently connect on deep balls. The percentage is not high in general, but I could guarantee you that his percentage is a lot lower than other quarterbacks in the NFL at this point in time. Yeah. It always seems to be overthrown.
Yeah. It's a combination of things with the deep ball. It's timing, it's chemistry. So it's a few different things that goes along with that. There's a reason why he was money with it with John Brown.
Yeah, it had to be some type of comfort zone there. But anybody else, like if it's not Diggs, it's not there for whatever reason. So I don't know. Like I said, at the end of the day, I just feel this way. At some point, we have to realize that Josh is getting paid $258 million. All right. We're not paying him a small amount of money. We're paying him to come through. We're paying him to be a franchise quarterback. We're paying him to win.
That last comment that was up there, make sure we come back to that, please. Just make sure we come back to that, please.
Come back to it. But no, at the end of the day, like I said, it doesn't matter who's calling the plays if he's not going to execute. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is with this offense. I think I know what the biggest issue is. And actually, no, we'll just go right into it right now. We might well just go right into it. We might not even wait. So we're at this point where the Bills' number 2 receiver, impending free agent, captain, Gabe Davis, put up 0 receptions for 0 yards in one of the biggest games of the year, in a game that if he showed up, we could have won. Jay, I'm going to let you get started with this because I'm with you on this. It was embarrassing. It was an embarrassing performance. And honestly, in my opinion, it looked like an embarrassing effort.
Gabe Davis let the team down. Trying to be polite. He let the team down. And as a player, right, you're expected to come there and do your 111th every time you're on the field. All he did was run on the field. He ain't played no football. That dude ran on the field. Gabe Davis is what, 6'2", 220?
Yeah.
He's 6'2", 220 pounds. We throw a football to him in the end zone. He don't sell out. He don't jump. He don't go try make a crazy effort to get it. He throws an arm up like this. You 6'2", 220 pounds. You should be fighting for that football. You need to go up and go. You need to go get it. It's bad because he's not even a jump ball threat. And there's no way where he's supposed to be on. And I like Gabe Davis, I really do, y'all. But y'all know I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all. With Gabe Davis being the number 2 receiver on this football team, there's no way on God's green earth you should never ever go a game without a catch.
No.
And if you say that it's Josh Allen or Ken Dorsey's fault, look in the mirror, go in your bathroom, look in the mirror, and slap yourself. Because that's foolish. Players make plays. I don't give a damn how bad my OC ever was who coached me. I'm gonna ball. I'm gonna make it do what it do. So with that said, if you need a coordinator to if you need a coordinator to scheme you open, you're nothing more than a gadget player. You're limited. You're not a number 2 receiver if that's the case. And I feel he is.
Yeah.
What he has to do is he has to get open. Period. Get open. You'll get the ball. Get open. He's not beating people. He's not. It's obvious. You're not beating people. Not getting open. Dude, you got to step up. You need to catch fire. Because right now, nobody in that room is seriously helping Stephon Diggs. Sherfield actually look better than Gabe Davis. The man had more receptions than Gabe Davis, man.
Yeah. And Gabe got benched. I don't know if anybody's aware of that, but Gabe got benched. I mean, it's just the simple fact that you went through a game where your quarterback threw 38 passes, and you're the number 2 receiver. And mind you, he completed 26 of his 38. And you didn't get one catch, but you only got 2 targets. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. And this is the problem with Gabe Davis, and it has been the problem with Gabe Davis. It's always a wave. It's always up and down. And when it's down, it's down. We're not going to win like that. And God forbid, when Dawson Knox comes back in the lineup, there's no way that we can win football games with Gabe Davis and Dawson Knox each putting up 2 or 3 catches a game. Those are two guys that we need. Like, we're relying on Kincaid. Kincaid has taken over the number 2 spot behind Stephon Diggs on his offense.
Think about this. We considered our number 2 and number 3 threat coming into this season, right? They're giving us nothing. We talking about Ken people or not we. There's people who's dogging Ken Dorsey, which I think is foolish. Our number 2 and number 3 threats are giving us nothing at all. How the hell is that? I mean, if they're just not balling, that's not Ken Dorsey's fault. Players make plays. Period. You can bring the best OC to ever walk the face of the earth. If you just not a baller and you not get open, it ain't his fault. It ain't his fault. These dudes got to step their game up.
Yeah.
Period.
And you know what? once again, I'm gonna put another notch on the side of Ken Dorsey in this argument. 17 wanted Gabe Davis here. 17 is comfortable with Gabe Davis. 17 wanted Dawson Knox to get the extension. He was comfortable with Dawson Knox. Business in the NFL is always an uncomfortable business. You better be comfortable being uncomfortable, because when you get to the point where the Bills are at, where they're 5-4 right now, excuse my language, this shit is real uncomfortable now, ain't it? It ain't a good place to be, because we ain't talking about an AFC East title. We're not talking about Super Bowl. We're talking about possibly not even making the playoffs. That's uncomfortable. And we have a guy that we have to look in the face and say, and we know he's not going to go make that jump ball play. Hell, we don't even know what he's going to do this game. We have not a clue. But then again, how is this on Dorsey? Dorsey ain't making that decision to bench him. He don't have, Dorsey ain't, believe you me, Dorsey ain't got that type of power in Buffalo. He ain't got that type of lead way. That's not the type of lead. That leash ain't that long that he's on to do that. Okay? At the end of the day, man, it's gut check time. And you can't bitch Gabe Davis because you put a C on this. You put a C on his jersey. And if people don't think that C means something, it means something in Buffalo. That's a big deal. If you guys have not paid attention the last 5-6 years, being a captain is a big deal. But it's gut check time. If Gabe Davis starts winning his one-on-one matchups, this offense turns into a different offense. It opens Diggs up a lot more. It opens Kincaid up more. It opens the run game up more. But right now, because he's not going to win that one-on-one matchup, you can bracket the safety over the top with Diggs, with the corner underneath, and you can lead that one-on-one because you know he's not going to beat it. At that point, what do you want the OC to do? And what do you want him to do with James? You want him to run the ball with James Cook between the tackles 10, 12 times with having 7 people in the box because they know that your number 2 receiver is not going to win this matchup, or your quarterback's not going to make that throw? Yeah, he can throw it down the field, but he's not connecting on it. So everything's condensed. You want to know why his completion percentage is the highest in the NFL right now? Because there's no big throws. All the big throws have been yak. Stephon Diggs breaking tackles and running down the field. That's your issue. Yep. So if you want to know what the issue with the offense is, it's right there. Because I guarantee if you put somebody outside of that field that was making plays, it'd open everything up.
D-Hop.
Yeah, we missed out on that one. We should have done what we had to do to get D-Hop here. We messed up on that one. So that's it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I go back to the other part. 17, listen, I know we want him to be part of the running game. It seems like Dorsey's going to put him back into the running game somewhat. And they have to. They absolutely have to. No doubt about it. But when we start talking about that shoulder and taking hits, can't say nothing. He gets hurt, we can't say nothing. We have to just deal with it. It's a risk that we're going to have to take. I was telling you on the phone earlier, one thing about Josh Allen that I look at him, right, as a quarterback, he reminds me a lot about John Elway. And we're going to take some questions in a minute. I'm going to read some of these comments. Reminds me a lot of John Elway. In the fact that Elway played the game a certain way. Josh Allen plays the game in a very similar way. And you cannot take that away from him. Because if Josh Allen is just going to stand in the pocket and sling the ball 40 times a game and just be a pocket passer, it's not going to work. That's not who he is. Like you said, you have to let Josh be Josh. It's not who he is. It's not in his DNA to be that. So I don't know, man. Like I said, you can fire OC if you want, but that's not the.
Let me ask you this, JT.
Yeah.
Name 7 OCs better than Ken Dorsey right now.
All right. Mike McDaniel, who's a head coach. So are we counting the head coach or no?
You can. I want OCs.
Okay, hold on. Let me look really quick. Hold on. Let me look at the NFL standing. I go through this real quick.
Because I talked to someone that's in the NFL, that's connected to the NFL.
Yeah.
And he said Ken Dorsey around the league is looked upon as maybe a top 7 or 8 OC right now.
I believe that.
He said the NFL circles, people view him as a top 7 or 8 OC. And he's not connected to the Bills. He laughed. He said people are foolish to want him gone. But you go ahead. I'm sorry, JT.
Oh, no, I'm agreeing with you. Like I said, I don't really think they're 7. I mean, the only ones you come off the top of your head is obviously Mike McDaniel. There's no one else in the AFC East you'll say better. Well, in the AFC West, you got Andy Reid, but Andy Reid been doing better. Hell, the Chargers, I don't know who charged. I mean, would you say Kellen Moore is better? I don't know. Kellen Moore has been fired too. So, nobody else in the AFC West. I mean, Sean Payton's a coach, but they ain't looking too hot right now. I wouldn't say there's a better OC at all in the AFC North. I mean, Zach Taylor's head coach, but as we saw in that game, Joe Burrow makes a lot of those calls at the line of scrimmage. And you go to the AFC South, I give you Doug Peterson. Nobody else in the AFC South is better. So then we go to.
Do you think Doug Peterson is better, or he's been around longer? It's different.
I think Doug Peterson is a good one calling plays. I think he's a good one calling plays. I think it's been a long time, but I think he's just like Andy Reid. His experience, but he evolves with the game. All right. So let's go to the NFC East. All right. Philadelphia, I give you that one. Dallas, I give you that one. No Commanders, Eric Bieniemy, not so hot right now. Possibly, but we're going to pass on that one for now. 49ers.
How many points did they score against the Bills?
Huh?
How many points did they score against the Bills?
Was it 3? Was it 0? I forgot what it was now.
In the discussion. You can't say better than Dorsey.
Yeah.
When has Dorsey produced 0-point touchdowns?
No, I don't think ever. Not as a coordinator here. Kyle Shanahan, yes. I think Kyle Shanahan's tops in the league. Sean McVay, that ain't looking too hot right now, but I say McVay. And then, yeah, you're not getting 7.
How many of those are head coaches that you remember?
About 5 of them. About 5 of them.
Bills fans are foolish for wanting him fired. There's not 7 dudes better than him. Who the hell are you going to get to replace him? And if you want him gone right now, it's the dumbest thing in the world. It's dumbest. I want to curse so bad. It's just foolish. If you fire somebody in the middle of the season, who the hell are you going to get better? Who? You're not. Stop it. These emotional ass posts. Stop. He's not a bad OC. You're not going to. This is not a video game. It's not fantasy football. You're not going to score 40 points every week. The Bills were never going to. That's why there's only one undefeated team in NFL history. The shit is hard, man. It's not easy. This guy is doing a really good. I think he's doing a really good job. Is there opportunities for him? Yes. But he's a really good OC. Chill the hell out, man. Some of y'all these emotional ass posts because y'all don't see video game numbers. It's ridiculous. Stop it.
It ain't all of him. Like you said it earlier on the phone, man. Players play, coaches coach. The players have to execute.
Listen, you got the best OC in the world. But if you got dudes that's not getting it done, it don't matter. It don't matter. Listen, my OC right now, I'll tell you. My OC from college, Rob Likens, he's at SMU now, OC. If he call a bad play, I'm going to make that shit right because I'm a baller.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you, I'm going to make it right. That's what ballers do. You make it right.
Right.
Period. You make it right. If you call a damn draw on 3rd and 6, guess what? I got to get 7. I don't give a damn about the call. Ballers make plays, man. It's not you called the bad play. We can't run a draw on 3rd and 6. Hell with that. Then give me the ball. I'm gonna make it do what it do. That's what ballers do. That's what Stephon Diggs was pissed about. It's not enough of them dudes in that room. That's the point.
That's why he was. That was his main point.
Yes, it's not enough of them dudes. Like, give me the ball. I got this shit. Move out the way. It's not. You need that attitude. You need that mentality. I think Hardy got that mentality. I think Sherfield got that mentality. I don't know if Gabe Davis has that mentality. I don't.
He doesn't.
Yeah. And I actually like what Shakir is starting to do. I really like how he's coming along. I really, really do.
Absolutely.
But man, come on, man. Players got to execute and make plays. Period.
Yeah, for real. Like it's crazy to me, man. Like it's just it's insane. Like we've seen Mike McDaniel. So I'm gonna give you an example, right? I saw a picture, right, of Mike McDaniel with Kyle Shanahan. Mike McDaniel with Kyle Shanahan's assistant in Cleveland. And they both got fired from Cleveland because they had Johnny Manziel at quarterback. That's my prime example of no matter how good you are as a OC, your players have to execute. And I'll go back to it and I'll say it for the last time tonight. The Bills' biggest issue is at this point in time why they can't get the running game going, why they can't get anything open downfield, is your number 2 wide receiver. Because you don't know what you're going to get from him. Guess what? Last week when you played the Buccaneers and he had his 110 yards, guess what? You was able to put points up on the board and move the ball, weren't you? You were able to run the ball. It's no coincidence that when Gabe Davis plays well, the Bills can run the football and they score more points. Those 2 things are joint at the hip. You know why Miami could put up so many points? Yeah, you have Tyreek Hill, who's just as you say, a fantasy football player. Does things you can't see. But what helps them is that you have Jalen Waddle on the other side that you have to worry about. You know why the Eagles put up a lot of points? Because you know what? If A.J. Brown ain't going to give it to you, I dare you to give one-on-one coverage to Devontae Smith. We don't have that guy right now. And thank God Kincaid is becoming it because I don't think he'll hit his full stride until next season. But thank God that there's somebody that's taking the pressure off of Stephon Diggs. Because that seems to be the only one that's showing up that wants to play.
And to be real, they may have to give that dude a pay raise.
Oh, no, we ain't give him nothing. Yeah, he ain't rookie deal. We can Duck does.
No. I'm talking about Diggs.
Oh yeah. Diggs deserves his pay. Diggs deserves a pay raise.
He may need to get another pay ball.
Yeah. Just pay raise. So we'll get to some of these questions real quick before we move on to the final topic. So Rob says, so why isn't Davis playing well? Let's break that down. I mean, I think it's pretty much, we broke it down already. He's, as you said, James, he's limited. He doesn't run crisp routes. He doesn't fight for the ball at 6'2", 220. And honestly, that last game still like he didn't want to be there. Maybe he was sick or something, they didn't report it. But I think that's in the nutshell. I can't tell you. Because 1 week we see it, 1 week you don't.
He gonna have a huge game this year. He gonna have like a 130-yard game or something like that. He gonna go nuts. And people gonna be like, "Whoa, that's Dorsey fault. They should have been doing that." You know how people gonna spin it.
Like I said a couple weeks ago, when you talk about this Dorsey offense, we got more pre-snap motion. We're getting more people involved. We have more of a variety of plays. But now we just don't have Gabe Davis doing anything. I mean, when Brian Dable was here, all we did was run Gabe Davis on post. Maybe we should start doing that again. Run him on post all game. Tony Lagarde says, why did the Bills have the punt team on the field at the end of the second quarter when the clock ran out instead of attempting a Hail Mary? Is that on McDermott? That's probably a McDermott call, but I don't know where they are. I don't know where they were on the field, so I don't even want to answer that because I don't remember where they were.
Hail Marys can be tricky, man. That turn on you quick. You get a free sack, or it's what are you gonna gain out of that? That's a low percentage play.
Yeah. My man Riku says, she should have bench Davis way sooner. Like I said, I don't think he doesn't really have that power. He can.
Yeah, that's not an OC call. The OC usually, especially in a situation where you got a captain. Yeah.
My guy about Minkovic says Knox will be traded. I love Knox, but unfortunately, it's business. I'm with you.
He'll be here in 2024. Next year will be his last year here, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, like I said, after this year, post June 1st is $10 million cap savings, so it could happen this year. Our guy Travis Blakely says Bills fans are insufferable. I don't want to say all that, but yeah, it can get ugly out here sometime. Hey, what's up, Michelle Holman? Let's see, what else we got here? Michelle says Gabe is one-dimensional. Absolutely. I can't agree more at this.
But then you don't have them games where it's just like it's fluky and somebody gonna pay him for that.
Yeah. And then Bobby Billy says he's on pace for the next big one against Philly or KC because it's every 3-game thing. Absolutely, that's exactly what it feels like.
If he has a big game, there's nobody in the NFL I think that can stop the Bills' offense. If he plays like he at his best, there's nobody that can beat the Bills. Think about this. Think about a top level when Gabe Davis balling, Stephon Diggs and Kincaid with Cook in the backfield, and then Allen. Nobody can mess with that offense.
Right.
And let's not forget, KC got some big problems out there, and out there with their offense, man. People talking about the Bills. They got some problems, but they don't got the talent in the room to fix it. We got the talent to fix it. They don't.
Right. At this point in time, I feel bad for Ken Dorsey. So, but moving on to the last topic, man, of the night. A lot of media pressure this week. A lot of, posts about the old ball coach Sean McDermott. A lot of people wondering, like, hey, is this the time that we should start thinking about moving on from Sean McDermott? I would say for the first time in his tenure here, this question, and I wouldn't call it valid, but I would call it a concern. I would call it a concern. With that being said, I will say this. I don't think moving on from Sean McDermott is the answer. I know a lot of people want an offensive-minded head coach, and I get that. That seems to be the fun trend. But I tell you what, a lot of times with offensive-minded head coaches, things go haywire real quick within the organization if it ain't working. They don't have a stern fist to keep the team in order. They don't have a stern fist to keep things organized. And if they don't have a quarterback, it don't matter anyway. Now, obviously, the Bills have a franchise quarterback here. But end of the day, I don't think that's the answer. But, James, I'll let you speak on this. I know this is something you really, really, really want to get into.
I think it's the dumbest crap in the world. There's no way nobody should be turned on McDermott. McDermott is a hell of a head coach. Listen here. As a head coach in the NFL, you're actually probably coaching 25% of the time.
Yeah.
Other time you're overseeing and you're making sure things are running the correct way.
Yeah.
In that aspect, I think things are running the correct way. It's just right now the offense is not clicking, right? I don't think that's a head coach problem. I think it's just like, hey, let's figure this thing out. You got to play through it and figure it and work it out. We have a lot of new pieces in on the offense, man. People just don't want to admit that. You got 2 new starters on the offensive line, right?
Yeah.
You got a new starting running back. You got the whole running back room is different besides Cook. Then you got Sherfield, Hardy, Kincaid, all guys that's playing right now who's new.
Yeah.
A lot of new blood on the offense, man. To get everybody on that same page is not easy. It's not easy. Right. People have to think about that. It's a lot of new. You just put people in there and it just work. That's not how it is in the NFL. These are human beings. Once again, these aren't figures on Madden. Like, these are human beings. It has to work. And the reason why I'm not panicking at all, and I think it's a panic move by people to say it's emotional ass. Don't get me started on the people that's posting this time for me. Emotional as hell. I listen, JT. I'm ready to talk that talk, but I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be cool. But yeah, it's just that's not it. It's not it at all. We want to peak the last quarter of the season. That's when you want to peak. Multiple times the Bills have peaked too early. We don't want that. You want to get hot at the right time. Remember when the Giants, they barely made the playoffs, got hot and won the Super Bowl. You gotta peak at the right time. Be cool, people. Relax. Us winning that game, huh?
I will say this: I'm relaxed, but they lose one of these next 2 games, I ain't gonna be so relaxed.
I'm not, because I'm just to the point where I said at the beginning of the year, get to the playoffs, let everything else happen. We've done it every other way. We've been the top. Well, no, we weren't in the top seed. We're 2. We done won it AFCs. We had home field, all the other stuff. We got our ass whooped on our home field last year.
Yeah,
that don't guarantee a Super Bowl ticket. Get to the playoffs and be hot when you're in the playoffs, and let's sort it out from there.
Right.
All other stuff, it could be a little overrated, man. Just get hot at the right time.
You know what? And you remember when we lost that Bucks game the other year, we were 7-6. People hit the panic button. Then we were all the way to the AFC championship, AFC divisional game, and it was actually 13 seconds from going to the AFC conference championship game. So, like I said, yes. I'm not really worried. This team is balanced.
Wait, no, we don't win the Super Bowl if we don't win that game. The 13 seconds, I was going to the Super Bowl.
No, because the Chiefs played the Bengals next week.
No, that was last year.
No.
The year before, the Kansas City 13-second game, that would have got us to the Super Bowl.
No, that was divisional. We lost the AFC championship game the year before. That's when McDermott had to go get Diggs off the field when he's watching the confetti. So that was the year before.
Yeah, that's the 13-second game.
No, that was not 13-second game.
That was the Chiefs' 13-second game. Was the AFC championship.
No,
that's why.
No, it wasn't.
Look it up.
I'm telling you, I don't have the 13-second game was a divisional game, divisional conference game. The Bills lost, but if the Bills would won that game, we would have had a home playoff game, I believe.
You sure?
The game that we lost in the AFC Championship game to the Chiefs, in my opinion, I'm pretty sure that was Gabe Davis's 4 touchdown. I mean, I'll look it up, but
Gabe Davis' 4 touchdown game was a 13-second game.
I know, but I thought that was the divisional game.
No, that was the AFC Championship game because Diggs stayed on the field to watch him celebrate after that game.
Was it?
Right? That was that game when he stayed on the field.
No, it was divisional. It was divisional. 36-42 was divisional round.
So the 13-second game.
The 13-second game was the divisional round game that they lost.
And then the next year.
Right. KC went to play KC went to go play Cincinnati.
So what? So we went to the AFC Championship.
Cincinnati went to the Super Bowl that year. 13-second year. 13-second year, Cincinnati went to play the Super Bowl.
They went and knocked them off.
Right.
Okay.
The first year Diggs was here, we went to the AFC Championship game. That's when McDermott had to get him off the field. That was Beasley, Brown, and Diggs.
That's right. I mixed those up. Yeah. You're right. I mixed those up. So, I combined those two.
Yeah. So no, like my thing is damn, I forgot what I was saying now. I forgot what I was saying.
I combined those two because they're both Chiefs. I mixed those two up.
Yeah. No, it's all good. No, but the biggest thing about McDermott is this, man. There's a lot of things that he brought to this franchise, and I get it. The NFL it's a business, and sometimes it's an unfair business. But I will tell you this: when I hear thoughts of firing Sean McDermott, first of all, even if you fire Sean McDermott, you're not going to fire him and get rid of his entire staff because you have something built here on both sides of the football. So that would be kind of crazy.
It's a culture. You can't do it because this culture, Bills fans forget. Not all. Some the emotional ass Bills fans forget. If you let McDermott go, you're going to have to let Dean go because they're connected.
Yeah,
they're connected. right? And if you let those two go, you got their culture guys here. So you got to tear the whole thing down to build it back up. That makes no sense. It is not that big of problems going on to even do some dumb shit like that. That's preposterous. Even honestly, JT is an insult to Sean McDermott and the Bills organization that we've been having this conversation.
My thing is this. Now, if we're in the same spot next year, then I would think it would say, then you have more ability to even have the conversation. Even then, I still wouldn't do it. Because I'm going to tell you what, when I see Sean McDermott and I think about letting him go, there's two people that come to mind. Tony Dungy and Andy Reid. First two people that come to mind when we talk about that. Why do those two guys come to mind? Because both of those guys were fired from cultures that they built up. And they went to their next spot and they won Super Bowls.
Yes.
Listen, we have one of the top 5 head coaches in the NFL right now. They're going to figure it out. But like you said before, when you think about a head coach, you're not thinking about everything that they actually have to do with managing the egos. And mind you, managing egos of these young ass kids who are just reckless than the old age ever was. Okay, with managing social media, managing scandals, managing things that go on within the organization, managing losing coaches, managing losing players. It's a lot of things you have to deal with. Sean McDermott has dealt with a lot of shit, excuse my language, when coming to Buffalo. Okay, I want you to think about where this franchise was when he got here, when you talk about firing him. Okay, so are you people that, and this is not for everybody, but there's a group of the fans now that like to travel to every game. Did you do it 7-8 years ago? Probably not, because you thought you weren't traveling to go see Thaddy Daddy throw balls versus the Dolphins. Okay? You weren't doing it. Some were, not most were not. All these tailgates that people throw to make money. Okay? You weren't throwing these because you weren't interested in throwing in Buffalo 7-8 years ago. All the people
Only ones I know. I got to shout out my aunt. The chefs, they've been doing it for 20
right.
You know I got to rep. You know those my people, so I got to shout them out.
Right. There is a certain basis of fans that were doing it and just did it culture-wise. But it wasn't necessarily the coolest thing to be a Buffalo Bills fan.
Nah.
But now, guess what? It's cool, it's profitable, and it's an experience. And before you talk about firing Sean McDermott, you better remember that before he got here, for most of you, 80% of you guys probably, that shit was non-existent.
The Bills didn't have an identity, man. They didn't have an identity.
No. And at the end of the day, you better be thanking him because he's putting money in a lot of people's pockets who are not within the organization. He's affecting a lot of people's lives that are not within the organization. So before you talk about firing this man, you better give him his goddamn flowers.
Yeah.
Because just 7 years ago, while we're all being spoiled right now with Super Bowl aspirations, we were just trying to make the freaking playoffs.
And people fail to realize, no matter what they talk about, we still are Super Bowl contenders.
Look at
we are.
Yeah.
We are.
The whole league is jumbled up right now. The entire league is jumbled up right now. We don't know who's going to come out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we love the NFL, man. You don't know.
The NFL right now is a lot closer from the top team to the bottom team than it's ever been. Why? Because I told you guys 2 years ago, when there was no more Brady, when there was no more Breeze, when there was no more Rivers, that it was going to be a change in the guard at the quarterback spot. And when that happened, it was going to get wonky. That's where we're at. We're wonky. I can't tell you who the favorites to come out the AFC East, the AFC for the Super Bowl is right now. Because a lot of people will say KC. We beat KC. We beat KC. So at the end of the day, I don't know, man. My man Mike says what? Nah, JT, love you, man, but you can't compare 7 years ago to We have talent now, not here because of the coach. That's not true. That's not true at all. That's not true. It's 100% because of Bean and McDermott, because they put a winning product on the field. And when you put a winning product on the field, people want to be a part of it.
I could tell you from experience, when I was in the league, people laughed at people coming to the bill. Players didn't respect it. Now it's a spot to be. We got dudes taking less to come play here. Grant, that D tackle that literally threw Joe Burrow back like a toddler came here he had multiple other offers. These dudes are coming here because of the respect for the head coach and the culture.
Right. You don't come here. You don't come to Buffalo to live. I'm just being completely honest with it. You don't come to Buffalo to live. Not as a millionaire. You come to Buffalo to play football. It's horrible weathers. It's high-ass taxes because it's in New York State. And honestly, for people who have much money, it ain't really that much to do, except across the border. But we ain't going to talk about those escapades. The Toronto Knights, okay? Yes, Ray Cruz, for that, he can't wait to play. Another prime example. Their guys are all here because of Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane, because there's a winning product on the football field. You could have had a different coach here that could have drafted Baker Mayfield. You could have had a different coach that could have drafted Josh Rosen. And we could have been sitting here.
I would have been the bozo that would have picked Josh Rosen over Josh Allen. Yeah. I am him. I would have been fired as a GM.
Right. So I'm saying you could have had a coach that picked a different quarterback. So yes, you can say it's because of Josh Allen, but Josh Allen is here because of Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane. It come, as they say, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Well, in this case, the chicken is Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane, and the egg came out of it, which was Josh Allen.
Yeah, Beane made that move to trade. You think those players, they there because of Allen and Diggs. Allen could have not signed an extension, right? Diggs could have not signed an extension with us. Diggs never could tell him, no, this ain't the spot to be. I mean, that's very easy to do. You know what I'm saying? So they're obviously not doing that.
Right. So like I said, they've made the right decisions. They made the right trade for Diggs. They made the right pick in Allen. So, and like I said, I was not on Allen. I was not an Allen fan. I was a Rosen guy too. I really was. So
I would have been fired as the OC or the general manager.
We have been sitting here 4 years later with a new head coach. And I don't know where the hell we would have been at right now. We would have probably been looking at Caleb Williams or Drake May like the Patriots. It is what it is. But for us to turn on this man right now, this is not it. We've seen this man be the head coach, the team president. Because let's not forget, Kim Pagula was the team president. She had health complications. Sean McDermott has pretty much been your team president. Sean McDermott hired Brandon Beane. It wasn't the opposite way around. People don't realize that. Sean McDermott had hired Brandon Beane. So, like, listen, man, and let's not forget how hard it was for Sean McDermott to put a staff together when he first came to Buffalo, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So, for those talking about Ken Dorsey and how bad Ken Dorsey is, listen, we had Rick Dennison.
I was about to say, do they not remember Dennison? No, time out. Do you remember how bad Nathaniel Hackett was, the OC here?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was his first job at Syracuse. He was terrible.
Dude, it was preposterous.
Yeah. But like I said, as far as his defense goes, and I know my man Bob made a comment earlier, said that he's holding his defense together with Tate. Listen, this is one of the best defensive coaching jobs I've seen.
Absolutely. Do you realize we stopped? If I'm a Bengals fan, see, I'm a football. Me, my brother and I, we talk deep about football. And he's hopefully be in the NFL soon. But when you look at the defense, man, if I'm a Bengals fan, I'm worried. You beat us by the skin of your teeth. We had a rookie who was benched, had to come in at play linebacker. And we had a guy who competed against himself and lost the battle at middle linebacker. At middle linebacker. Let that sink in. And those dudes were stopping you. And we had a dude that we just traded for 4 days prior.
Yeah.
Playing at corner. We lost our one of our all-pro safeties. Tyler Rapp had this. These are all dudes they weren't there. And you couldn't put us to bed properly. You had to rely on a missed tackle from Von Miller.
We gotta talk about Von too, because somebody asked about him.
To say like these are the things like, yo, if you're a football person and you're looking at this football, if you the Bengals should be more worried than the Bills at this point in time. With the way you won with a beat up defense like that, you should be a little worried. They should have hung 35 on a patchwork defense. If we have put it like this, sorry to preach on or go too long. If we plan this next week, right, and we say Surtain the second is out, right? We say both linebackers aren't going to play. Starting linebackers won't play. And Simmons at safety. Simmons not playing. If the Bills didn't score 35 points, how would you feel?
I would be lower. And I the only reason I agree with you about the worry thing is because the Bills attacked the Bengals a lot differently than they did in that playoff game in that half of football that quarter of football they played.
But you talking why you should be worried is this. You had not one of your studs on offense, every single one of them healthy. And you don't score 35 points, that's a problem.
Yeah.
We talking about a patchwork defense. That's a problem. And then you talking about a Greg Rousseau who's got injured will. Then you talking about a guy. Then we played a guy that came off the street 3 days ago at D tackle.
Yeah.
If you dissect, let's dissect it. You know how we do on the show, JT. We kick it so our people know. If you are the Bengals, you should be worried. You couldn't score on us in the second half with a patchwork defense.
3 points. I mean, if you just look at the numbers, I mean, obviously T. Higgins got the best of us that night. Tyler Boyd had 3 catches, 56 yards. Tanner Hudson, who I knew who he was before that night, 4 catches, 45 yards. But the biggest thing is Jamar Chase, 4 catches, 41 yards. Joe Mixon, 14 carries for 37 yards.
Joe Mixon, we kept him on the reps. I'm telling you, I'm not panicking because I've seen a lot of pluses. You know, a lot of people are. It's gonna be all right, man. It's gonna be all right.
I would just say this about Sean McDermott, right? As far as calling the defense, I just think for the rest of the season, we really need to just go to the 3 safety look.
You know, the only fear I got there where we can't play much. What? If Poyer goes down, hot damn.
Well, if Poyer goes down, I mean, hell, we in the same situation that we are right now. We got to put dots on the field. And listen. I thought Keith Ellison was one of the worst linebackers that I had seen in Buffalo Bills history. I think Tyrell Dodson is overtaking that. I do.
I'm surprised they haven't brought a veteran in yet.
Yeah, that's the one knock I have on McDermott about this is that we didn't get a veteran linebacker. I just feel like this, and I know a lot of people are asking the question of why Sean McDermott is calling the plays and taking it
because he's a hell of a play caller, and that dude calling that dude doing his thing. I ain't gonna lie, McDermott doing his thing, man.
Yeah. No, you know what? I would say that this is probably the most variety of defense I've seen in Buffalo that actually worked. Since now, I'm not gonna say Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan just caught the Ryan brothers caught a bunch of just chaos at all times.
You know what? As crazy as it may sound, Rex Ryan with the talent we got now, not as a head coach, but as just a defensive coordinator, probably would be some dangerous shit.
It would because you have a different team now than what you had. You have more pieces to move around.
You got some dudes, man.
Yeah, but I like I said, I said before the season, I give McDermott credit because you see this on the offensive side of the ball all the time where the head coach like, listen, I'm going to go back to calling the plays. But to have a defensive coach do it, you don't see that often. And like I said, if this works this year, this is going to become a trend.
Absolutely. I think it will be.
And remember, the Bills never had any intention, for when you read after that, they had no intentions of firing Leslie Frazier. I think they was going to do things a little differently.
Bless you.
But no, I mean, other than that, though, man, I think that's enough for Sean McDermott. I just think that to call for his head, to fire him, I think it's overkill. I think, honestly, we're acting like a bunch of spoiled brats at this point in time. Next year, same thing happening. I'm willing to have the conversation at that point in time. I'm willing to have it at that point in time. Right now, no, I'm not willing to have this conversation. Because who are you going to bring in? Jim Harbaugh? I mean, you can pay him $40 million to come in? Who are you going to bring in to replace him?
That's what people are not thinking about. They so emotional. Where's a guaranteed upgrade?
I'll tell you right now, if the Bills chose to fire Sean McDermott, your new head coach would be Ken Dorsey. So if you want that little tidbit of what would happen if the Bills fired Sean McDermott, your head coach would now be Ken Dorsey.
Or Eric Washington.
Yeah, or Eric Washington. Your new I think it'll be Dorsey because I think they want to keep him. So I think Dorsey would take it over. Your new OC will probably be Joe Brady. So,
all right, JT, we ain't even gonna go down that lane.
Just saying. That's what probably would happen. So, because you're not going to tear the whole thing down like James said. But, man, other than that, James, I think we covered a lot tonight. Obviously, we got the Denver Broncos coming up on Monday Night Football, a game that the Bills absolutely have to win. There's no give. They need to win, and they need to win in dominating fashion. I don't think there's nothing left to say, man. I think we've covered it all. I think we've got most of the questions done. I'll scroll through one more time and make sure that we hit the majority of the questions and comments and things like that. But other than that, I mean, guys, Travis, he did ask, are you guys worried about Vaughn? I'm not going to lie. I'm still up and down. It's like one game, he seems like he's getting there. Another game, he's not. And
he's on the job rehabbing. That's what he's doing.
He is, but my worry is his age. My worry is his age and getting that bend back. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I am a little worried because I know that we're going to need him to win it, to go deep. We're gonna need him. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Other than that, Joanne says you guys did a great job. Thank you, Joanne. I appreciate that.
Thank you for the support.
Yeah. Other than that, man, I'm talked out tonight, man. We're an hour and 12 minutes in. I think it was a great show. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thank everybody for being putting your comments. We love engaging. We love the conversation. This is what we do. And don't forget, this is brought to you by Checkers. So let's say we got the Broncos coming up, one game at a time. Let's try to get to the Broncos. Let's try to get my man Mike Boger says, how about Michigan snitching over schools? I gotta read up on it. I ain't seen it, but somebody going down. Everybody going down. Appreciate you, Jeff. Jeff's been a friend of mine a long time. Appreciate you for tuning in. He is a diehard Titans fan. Always has been. Always will be. Respected very, very much, sir. But yeah, man. Hopefully we get this W next week. If not, it's gonna be an ugly week here in Buffalo.
That's different. That's a different conversation.
A different conversation. So, James, any final thoughts before we take off, man?
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Shout out to my Buffalo Vets boys who won the championship. Took care of business.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So tune into that Bills game. Everybody, make sure you're active on our page. We appreciate all the love and support. Make sure you come back weekly. Any questions you got popping on the page, we'll make sure we answer you.
Yeah, it's all good. Like I said, it's all good. Always join the conversation. Always welcome to opinion. let's hopefully we get this W, man. Like I said, I don't want to be back here I don't want to be back here in the next 3 weeks for talking about a loss again. Let's just go and get to this. Let's go and get to this 8-4 and start cleaning everything up. They're gonna respond though. Sean McDermott teams always respond. They don't respond, that'll be the day I'll be worried. We've always responded. And that's the true definition of our coach right there. Yep. You never give up, you never stop fighting. So other than that, guys, good night. Catch you later. We'll be back next Tuesday. I should be. Unless something happens at work, we should be next Tuesday. On that, thank you for tuning in. Peace.